Welcome back, Falcons. Here we are in my kitchen once again. We have this chicken, this 3-year-old, and me, and we're gonna break this chicken down and show you how I do it. Now, just because I do it a certain way doesn't mean the way that your mom or your grandma or your dad or anyone else that you know is doing it wrong. There's 100 ways to do things. This is just the way that I do it because I'm trying to get the most utilization of the bird. So, before we get going, I already gave this bird a rinse and patted it dry. I'm going to throw on gloves. You don't have to wear gloves if you don't want to. I'm going to because I have a call, 40 minutes, and Scarlett wanted gloves, so that's why. It's not really a reason, but we got gloves for Scarlett. One more. Come on. We're in a hurry. That's good. All right, you get those gloves on, and I'm gonna get this chicken going. All right, so this is what's called, this is a fryer. I got this at Freddy's. Patted this guy dry. Inside of the cavity was some extra parts, the neck and that sort of stuff. We're gonna get rid of those. We're gonna save those because in a later video, I'm gonna make some chicken stock for you guys. So, first couple steps that I do. One, is I dislocate the hips, and the way that you're going to do that is you're going to put your thumbs right where the joints come together into the spine. Can you zoom in on this? So we're just going to put our thumbs, and then we're going to pull those back. Okay, so dislocate the legs from the spine. Then I'm going to take the little tip of the wings off, and we're going to save those for the stock pot. Get rid of those. So just cut right through the joint. Then we're going to flip this guy back over. So we're going through the back when we do this. And what we're looking for is right here. There's a little wing, or behind the wing. There's like a little collarbone. And we're going to. So this would be the neck right here. So we're going to cut right along the back at the neck. So we're going to cut inside that little bone and then beside the back. So we're going to cut that all the way down on both sides. Okay, so we have this. Then with the tip of the knife, we're just going to remove some of this meat from the rib cage. Scarlett, I need you to be quiet. And then this is the little oyster. So we're going to cut right around that little oyster there as well. Okay, same thing over here. Now keep in mind, I'm a lefty, so I do all of this stuff backwards. Unless you're a lefty, and then we're doing it right. So again, we're cutting the flesh away from the rib cage, and we're going to get a little bit of a closer look here in just a second, and then getting the oyster, what they call the oyster, out of here as well. So if we can get a zoom over here. Okay, Scarlett, quiet. There's too many cooks in the kitchen right now. Everyone's talking, thinks they know what they're doing. Okay, so at this point we have the flesh removed from the rib cage. We have the hips dislocated. So we're going to hold the chicken down to the counter, and then we're just going to pull back on this rib cage. Or on this back bone, and that will help remove the rib cage. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to get the most yield out of this bird. So if I can leave all of the meat intact, and this is basically the backbone. There's no real usable meat on this. Do you want to hold on to this, Ray? Or should I just put it right here? Okay, don't touch it. Don't put it in your mouth. Okay, so now we have the bird, and if I were going to just put this on the smoker or on the barbecue, we could just, you don't want to hold this. We could just put this on the grill, give this a nice rub. and put this on the smoker and let it go for a couple hours, hour and a half, whatever doneness you like. So we're not going to do that though. I'm going to debone this a little bit further. So we're going to take off the leg and thigh quarters here. Leg and thigh. So we have, if you go to the grocery store, occasionally you can, actually I'm going to put this here. Oh, whoa, try getting away from us. Keep all of our scrap. So we have, there is a fat line right here, and you guys can see that. That's where the drumstick attaches to the thigh. So we'll just run our knife right through there, separate those. So we have a leg and a thigh. So you could use this thigh for chicken teriyaki or something like that. It's great, or it's really good grilled as well. So we'll save that. I'm keeping the skin that I cut off separate from my chicken stock because I don't want a bunch of chicken skin, fat and greasy, oily stuff going into my stock. Okay, so I have a leg and a thigh, and we'll put those here for now. I think I'm gonna actually put these on the grill later tonight for dinner. There's a big chunk of fat here, we'll get rid of that. And then same thing here, we just find that little fat line right here, you guys can see that. That's where the two muscle groups come together. And we'll just run our knife right through that. So again, we have another drumstick and another thigh here. Okay, and then we'll get to the breast. So this, we still have a little bit of ribs attached here. There is, right in here, this is called the keel bone. And we're gonna remove that. So we're gonna just gently cut through that little membrane. And then you're gonna grab this guy and just give it a little pop. I know this is a bit aggressive for some of you guys. My cameraman is actually looking a little queasy back there. And then we'll pull this out. This is all cartilage right here, so we'll save this for our stock. There is still one bone that's holding this all together. It's our wishbone. And we're gonna just cut through that guy there. Okay, so we'll get this last set of ribs out, and we're just gonna run our knife right underneath that. All of this bone and connective tissue at this point that's left on here is all running up to this wing. So, there's actually a little bit of cartilage right there. So I'm just gonna use my knife and kind of scrape at the bone until this all leads to that wing. There's that wishbone right there. Okay. And I want to preserve that wing drumettes because we can put that on our happy hour menu, right? Okay, so I have the breast here. Here is the wing and the drumette. So if you buy the bags of like party wings, this piece that I have here basically represents the collarbone, I guess if the bird had a collar, and the first little chunk of arm. And then we have here, this is the drumette. Turn this up a little bit. So again, this is the forearm here, and then this would be like the upper arm. And we'll find the spot where that bends, and we'll just cut cleanly through that as well. Some people will throw this in their stock. I'm gonna throw them on the smoker. This actually is gonna go in here. I put it over there for the Scarlett to play with. Okay, and then here we've got our breast. Shh, quiet please. Hey, I'm gonna throw this chicken skin at you if you don't be quiet. Okay, so we're gonna take the skin off, the chicken skin. Some people like that left on. We don't at my house, so it's up to you if you leave it on or not. We will leave the skin on the legs and thighs. And then here is the breast and also the tenderloin. So if you go to the restaurant and you order the chicken tenders, the tender comes from right inside the chicken breast right there. Okay, so we have our tenderloin. And then we have our breast. Let's clean it pretty well. Trim off a little bit of this extra fat. Get rid of that. There's another little piece right here. Get rid of that. And there is a little cartilage right here. We'll get rid of it. Set All right, and then our stock we'll do later on. It's pretty simple, but we got one more set of ribs to remove from this other chicken breast here. Again, just use your knife and let gravity work with you. Here's the other wishbone here. And the reason that I do the chicken this way is because I find that the amount of waste that I have is a lot less. And I know that there are some extra steps that I'm doing here, different than just chopping this into like an 8-piece like a fryer. But I find that if I'm spending money on something, I want to get my money from my purchase. So, all right, again, we'll take this tenderloin out of here. Do our chicken tenders. Again, the skin on these peels off really easy. Just give it a little tug. And then we can also trim up some of this fat. Good. And then the last piece we have here is just our wing. So this is for the stock pot. And then we'll cut this right in the joint there, and then we have our... All right, so real quick, we'll lay this guy back out. So we've got breast, tenderloin, wings, thighs, and drumsticks. So there is our 8-piece. There is our 8-piece trimmed up. The only amount of waste that we have that's really going into the trash out of this is right here. Okay, so we're gonna use the stock, the bones for the stock, and then one more thing I'm gonna show you just really quickly here before I leave you all. We'll move all of our parts here. We're gonna actually debone. We're gonna take the bone out of this thigh, I want to use that in my stock later. So, there's a little piece here. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to, again, just use the edge of your knife and just gently give that a little scrape there. And that meat will come off the bone. There's some red pigment here, you see, on the bone. These birds are pretty young, so they haven't really built up a ton of bone structure, but it's not blood. So we'll just scrape the meat back off this bone. So here's our bone. That was our thigh bone. So we can put that into our stock. And then this here, we're pretty big fans of chicken teriyaki here. So we'll marinate this in a little teriyaki marinade. Throw that on the barbecue tomorrow. Or we'll make some tacos or something. So we've got our boneless thigh here, and then our bone-in thigh here, so you can see the difference in what those look like as well. So, all right, good luck. If you need some help, Google it or watch the video again. Take care, Falcons. Ooh. Chicken is done. We'll head out to the Green Mountain. Alright. So this is the chicken that we did earlier. The weather's nice, so everyone's out here playing right now. This went on the smoker 350 for about 35 minutes. Honestly, I think I killed the tenderloins, but I don't know. They're a little extra crispy, so I guess the colonel's gonna have to watch out. Overall though, we had this on our elevated rack, and we got some pretty good looking chicken. So we're gonna go and munch on this. See you next time.